course, it'll help if we get that right there, and then let's go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 528 for June 7th, 2020. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
Wow.
Hey, there you are.
There I am. There you are. Just in case anybody thought we were ever in the same room. We are not.
No.
We are trying a new thing. It's going to be awkward. More awkward.
Awkward.
It'll be awkward for a little while. We are streaming live on YouTube. If you go to the RetroMacCast channel on YouTube, you'll find us there. We did a little experiment last week, which I intended to just delete immediately. It was just kind of us playing with the tools, and we invited Derek in. That was kind of fun. It turned out being a blast. Like, we could have done that for a long time. And I left it up there if anybody wants to see it. There's maybe some entertainment value in it. And there are a few people here watching us already.
Alrighty. We got Klaus and Michael. Hey. Nice.
That's pretty awesome. Well, anyway,
cool. Yeah.
The intent here, we'll talk about this more in the, well, might as well say this at the top of the show. The intent here is not to produce a polished video episode.
Right.
The idea is we're just going to do our regular audio episode because most people are going to listen to it that way. But you are going to have video, so if you're so inclined, you can tune in, watch that, see the things that we're going to be talking about. But we're not gonna primarily cater to the video audience. So
right.
The hope here, the hope here is we don't spoil both at the same time.
So nothing blatant like product placement, like me enjoying these wonderful hobnob cookies.
What are hobnobs?
Oh, dude, they are like they're like a nice Odie cookie. Good stuff.
Are they from overseas?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where?
England.
Oh.
They're a biscuit, not a cookie, a biscuit.
Okay. All right. Yes. Well, for everybody on the audio program, let's go back and talk about what John just did. No. So the intent is we're primarily focusing on the audio and dabble in the video. Okay. Which means we're going to be breaking our segments because you know how we have different segments throughout the show,
sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. We've done pretty much the same thing for the last how many years, right? We have our intro. When we do that and when we produce the audio, John and I break, we stop the recording, we prep for the next phase, and then we start recording again. So you're going to see that here. You're going to see the behind the scenes. This is how we do it.
Yep.
What do we get? See, then we stop and we both just silence
because we're reading. Yes. Yes. I'm getting comments back on my correctly calling them biscuits that Michael has mentioned. Yes. And
okay.
Chocolate hobnobs are good too. So this is already digressing.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So what do we normally do? I've already lost track of what we know. New members, right? So let me see now I can put a screen up on the video. And you can see that cool graphic that John made, RetroMacCast, in 2D. But then we can do cool things like when we talk about new members, we can actually see their applications. Look at that.
Nice.
That cool?
Absolutely.
So let's start with Cale. Cale Corbett is joining us on our Facebook page, and his favorite Macintosh is the Quadra 660 AV. Hopefully he has one. And his favorite OS is Mac OS 8.
Well, all right. And our other new member is Chad. I'm going to say Molinax, unless it's like something French, in which case I'm not even going to try. And his first Mac was an SC30, and his favorite OS is 755.
Awesome. So check it out. Watch this. Approve all.
Bam.
Done. It's that easy. See that? All right. Well, what are we doing on the show today? We're going to be back here in a moment with some eBay finds. And what's that? After that? Oh, I thought we'd just spend a moment, since we're on video, talk about the rooms from which we're filming all this. Do you say filming? I guess recording, streaming.
Recording, sure.
There's no film involved, as far as I know. We'll do that, and then there's some retro news stuff to talk about, and that'll take us to the end of the episode. Sound good?
Sounds good. All right, not recording. So I guess the fun thing will be we can kind of talk about the comments in between, because of course this video that we're recording or doing live again is going to end up staying on our YouTube channel, correct?
Forever and ever.
Yeah, awesome. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right. So on the break, this is the break, right? This is the break from the audio. We're switching gears now.
Yeah.
This is when we pull up Windows for the eBay finds.
Yeah.
I trust, John, you have them.
Yes, I do. Derek says hi. Michael says that he didn't want to ruin a good discussion about biscuits with our chit chat. But it is. It's almost correctly because it's McVities, but if you throw an extra A in there, that makes it MacVities, and therefore on topic.
Where do you get those?
Actually, Publix has a pretty decent selection of British goodies. Of course, I've got to get my Jammy Dodgers from there also. But also, you can buy these in bulk on Amazon. So there you go.
Nobody hoarded those during the pandemic. Pretty good supply.
All right. So I'm doing the Lyndon B. Johnson.
I thought I'd save the best one for you.
Actually, I've got a fun story about that also, about ASCII art. So yes.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're ready to go. We'll count it down. Get over there, and in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the eBay auctions. We'll begin with a look at the auctions from last week. It's not an authentic Apple product, but the iCare teddy bear is still available for a buy it now of $13.49, or you can make an offer. That amazing collection up in Richland, Washington.
Yes.
I don't remember what the total computer count on it was, but there were a lot of them. It got up to $8,700 after 10 bids. I do not believe it hit the reserve, so it has been relisted. So here it is again. It's at $5,000 after one bid right now, with a buy it now of $35,000. So we'll see again if this makes it to the
and that's the problem with big collections like this, is who's got the space to immediately absorb that many computers into the collection. Obviously, it's easier for the person who's selling it to just sell it all in one big go versus having to piece it out. However, they're going to take a hit on how much they're going to get for it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see, this is the cool part of this, right? That I can pull up the picture of the collection, and everybody can just go ooh and ah about all those computers, all the memorabilia, a lot of stuff in there. That's just one of the pictures.
I need to get one of those kites. I love that. That is.
I have the kite, right?
You've got I think you've got several still.
Oh, I've got a couple of kites actually. There's one behind me, a different style, but I have that kite as well. I think I have a couple of them actually. All right, and
wait,
no, we have one more from last week.
Right.
The mouse, right? That was
the
probably from one of
mouse.
Yes. Original Mac sent to Drexel University, still available. Buy it now, $132. Okay. This week, we will begin. Now, what do you think? Do you think it's better to see the two of us and the screen? I guess there's enough room on the...
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't even shrink down the picture. It just, shoves it
right
a little bit.
Macintosh Portable, backlit, M5126 is up for sale. They want a starting bid of $270. This ends
very
on
reasonable.
Thursday. Very reasonable, except... They say here, it says currently not working. Now, I don't know if that means because they tried and failed or because they didn't even try. Hard to say because there's no power source and they have they have a dead battery. A, dead batteries on these, and then B, capacitors were a big issue on these. So Yeah, but it looks in great shape.
Oh yeah.
Physically, no real yellowing. I don't see any cracked plastics. Good hinges, right? Everything looks in great shape. So
the fact that it's backlit is pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah, the one I have, that doesn't work also, but it is not a backlit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, neither is mine. Yeah.
Of course, so shipping is probably going to be pretty beefy because these are heavy little guys.
Yeah, and you want these obviously packed very, very well because they are heavy and they're gonna move around the box. This one ships from San Antonio, Texas. Again, the starting bid is $270. The buy it now is $360. Okay, what do you got?
All right, next up we have a early programmers, Apple Lisa, Apple III, Macintosh, Commodore 64. Okay, it's basically it's a piece of ASCII art, which is pretty cool. Why an ASCII art of Lyndon B. Johnson? I don't know. Of all the things you could have.
Did you see the description?
ASCII art. Oh, no, I haven't even gotten that far yet. Someone took the time to type the letters and symbols on an early computer and print it out. It just baffles my mind to try to figure out exactly how this was put together. It must have taken hours or days to get it just right. As far as I can tell, it's a young Lyndon B. Johnson. I can't date it exactly, but it looks as if it is 1960s or so based on subject matter. All right, then. There you go. All right. So here's my cool ASCII art. I've got a really nice. So my uncle was a computer programmer, and he actually, when he was in the Air Force, was in NASA. So I have no idea where this originated from, but he had a printout on extra wide paper of an ASCII art moon, and you had to put it all together. The thing was about 4 foot by 4 foot, and I still have a printout of it that's not put together because I want to scan it in. Of course, the paper is pretty old, but of course it's also hard to scan in because I'll basically have to scan it in each page in segments as it is. But it's going to be worth it to do it.
Sure.
Yeah. It just, I mean, I've had that thing. I mean, he had one of these up in his apartment back in the 70s of the ASCII art that he had printed out another one of and put it all together. So that's my little ASCII art story. All right. So anyway, yeah, $245 for a Lyndon B. Johnson.
Possibly Lyndon B. Johnson.
Possibly Lyndon B. Johnson. And this one looks like size-wise, it is probably on a piece of the wide tractor feed.
You think so?
I think so, just by looking at the size of the characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because they're really small on the page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an oddity. I thought that was kind of fun. All right. And finally, the title is Vintage Apple Macintosh Quadra 950 fully tested and working, the M4300. Not much more to say in the description. It says tested and working. Let's take a look at the pictures and see what we find. From the front,
it looks like it's missing the
where's
key.
The key? The key might be missing. At least it's not in this first picture. Plastics look good. No yellowing around the corner, around the back. I don't see any cards occupying all the slot covers are in place. And there it is. There's a picture of it booting up, running system 7.5.1, only 16 megs of RAM. A little bit of a chipped part of the plastic right there, but all things considered, fairly minor. Clean inside. They took the cover off. Yeah, it's in excellent shape. I mean, the Quadra 950, what a beast of a computer, right? Look at that thing. $639.99 is the buy it now, or you can make an offer. Ships from Houston, Texas. Again, this is gonna cost a pretty penny to ship because it is heavy. Among the heavier Macs, the larger towers that Apple ever made. Quadra 950. Do you have a big Quadra like this in your collection?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I can't remember if I have the 950. I think I do. I'm looking around here. I think it's in the other room. these don't come along very often. I guess the big risk here is trying to make sure it just arrives in one piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-90s plastic.
Get that
Good stuff.
double boxed. All right. Well, we'll see if they get the bot now, or if somebody makes an offer, it gets accepted by next week. Okay. Oh, I'm told I can take off Derek's quote. Let's see. All right. I'll put his newest line in then. How about that? Is that better, Derek? Acheron 909. I'm not even sure. Do we know the origins of that? Derek, maybe you can fill us in. That's Derek Warren that goes by. I don't know if he's trying to remain anonymous, but
You just outed him. Great.
Yeah. So he is the voice behind Mac Folklore Radio podcast. So we have a celebrity among us. All right. A celebrity. And Derek, if you comment your URL, I will put that in the lower third. How cool would that be?
Damn.
So that the three people currently watching. No, I don't know.
Of course, we also have Michael from Retro Computing Roundtable, and of course,
hey, that's right.
Yep.
There are actually 5 people.
Road trip buddy, I have to say.
5 people watching right now. What an amazing achievement. This reminds me of the early days of our podcast. Remember, first of all, it was, and we mentioned this before, this odd thing when we did the very first episode, and I think in many of the early episodes, where this idea that even though you're just talking to a computer and just talking to somebody you already know, it felt like 1,000 eyes were on you.
All right. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
We were nervous.
Right.
And now actually people are watching in, and I don't have those nerves anymore, but
yeah.
Michael is the real celebrity here. Where's the URL? Give us the URL, Derek, so I can throw that up on the screen. All right, John. Oh, this is we're going to the next segment here. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our
rooms.
Situations, our rooms. Yeah. So let's do something. Let me switch us back. I'm going to have to reconfigure here. Oops. Let's try this. Let's try. Uh-oh. I gotta give me a moment here. I'm gonna try something. Application window. Boom. There. What could that be?
Ooh. Oh yeah, you're going to talk about your.
No, that's fine. All right. So, you ready, John?
Yeah, all set.
Okay, let's go in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back. Since this is the inaugural episode of the streaming live video edition of the podcast, we thought we'd take a moment to just share for the folks watching or that will be watching, because obviously this will be up online, whether you're here live or not. You still get to watch it later if you show care. Just talk about where we are, because John's got quite a view going on behind him. So where are you, John? What do we see behind you?
You see what I refer to as the Mac attic. Obviously, it's I can't really take your camera around, but yeah, it's this is my collection. I've got about 30 something computers in here. All my favorite ones are on this side of the camera, so you can't really see them, but you can see I do have a couple of my faves back here. There's the Mac Effects and the lime green iBook. So yeah, yep. This is the upstairs portion of my man cave. So what can I say? It's a lot of fun. It takes up a lot of time. You never know what's going to not work when you turn it on. I've got two computers that when I did my little tour for work a couple weeks ago, I've got two computers that I've got to now fix. So fun.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm still messing around with the tools here. When I minimize myself, I think I cut out my audio as well.
Interesting, huh?
So I can't. Okay. It doesn't seem like I can. I have to
comment
be on video. Mm-hmm.
Well, well, yeah, I was going to say but you are recording your audio.
Oh, you know what I can do? I can do this.
Oh, there you go.
I can do this. I figured it out. Okay, here we go. So anyway, right. you were saying you had it all cleaned up for last week. For the office tour. Mm-hmm. We didn't conclude the story of your situation that may have resulted.
Oh, so sorry.
Is there a conclusion there?
Other than I haven't gotten sick, not yet. So I ended up going lunch. Turned out the person we were having lunch with had tested positive for corona. That was over a week ago now, and April and I have been quarantined. But we haven't had any symptoms. We're actually going to go get tested on Tuesday. We're going to go get the what a actual medical professional referred to as the brain scrape, because I guess it's not a fun getting the upper walls of your sinuses scraped. So
oh my goodness,
yeah,
yikes,
yeah,
wow, okay, well, at least you haven't shown any symptoms, so that's positive there. We've got a question from Louisa Shan.
Yeah.
Have either of you got a Flower Power iMac?
I wish. I know James does.
I do. I'd show it to you, but it would involve me somehow grasping this camera and yanking it off and somehow putting it over there. But yes, off over in this corner is a Flower Power sitting next to a Blue Dalmatian. Sort of
so speaking of that, James, I was just looking at an app that will let you use your iPhone as a webcam for your Mac.
We need to explore that. I was actually looking at that.
Yeah.
The idea if I had a second camera that I could switch to.
Yeah.
And point around at stuff. So yeah, we'll work on that.
Speaking of pointing around at stuff, I know I saw that you had the your possible new.
Well, let me just show you where I am right now. So
I
am not in my museum that I have, right? John's got Mac Attic. I have Maca. Maca's in another part of the house. That's where all the 100+ computers are on display. I don't have my podcasting setup there. My podcasting setup is in my office. So that's where I am. So the office also is filled with a ton of Macs. Most of them are in front of me, so you can't see them like that Flower Power. There are a few just things behind me, and I haven't set anything up. This place is just a mess. So this is the reality of things. But I mean, you can see the Big Apple. Oops, I got to go like that. That's a giant. Was formerly lit up with fluorescent lighting and hung, I think, outside above an Apple store.
So, in Iowa? Do you think you'd ever want to convert that to like a nice white LED strip inside?
Yeah, I will do something with that eventually. I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, there's a bookcase back there. You can see. Gotta go like that. You see all the old Throwboy pillows up there? Do you see any of those?
Nice. Yes. Yeah. One of some of the earlier handmade ones, right?
I thought I'd have the ICEO Steve Jobs Throwboy pillow just kind of looking over my shoulder there. But other than that, there's not much to see here except just the junk. The reason why I'm not kind of building up like something of visual interest is because we are moving. I've talked about that on the show. And so that's what John was referring to is what's going to become Maca 2.0. And in the new house, the intent is that I will do the podcast from the museum. So I will have a suitable backdrop and can turn to things on occasion. So let's take a visual tour of that, right? We can do that. I have modeled it in 3D to get the kind of the dimensions right and get a sense of how things are going to lay out. Okay, so here's the door. And we're gonna go in the door. It's like with the frame rate, it's like an old school Mac interactive adventure, isn't it? Like it's loading from CD-ROM or something. And here it is. So it's just one long rectangular room here. A window on the far side. On the left, I will have metal shelving, so it's nice and sturdy, not like what I have now, which doesn't quite support the weight of the larger tower. So we've got, and don't pay attention to the specifics of the, what computers are where. I was just kind of putting them there just so you can visually see how computers might stack up in there. But those shelves are accurate in terms of dimensions and shelf spacing. And so it gives me a feel of, probably the taller towers can sit at the bottom. Things that take a lot of vertical space and I want to set up can sit up higher, right? And then I will do the shorter shelf there in the middle so I can have an accessible display. And likely there will be a 128K with the original Picasso poster stuck there like that. So you see that. There's my Apple One that exists in my imagination and in this 3D. And then if we circle around here, see that little door? Isn't that cool? What's the little door for? That's to part of the attic. There's one on each side of the room. So that's where the overflow will go. And then that shelf on there probably have the pre-Mac stuff, right? So we got some pre-Mac stuff.
But I love how, and I think, we talked about at one point on the show how you were going to have to downsize drastically your collection because of the new house and you didn't have enough space. And then you found out, this was just kind of a nice surprise. You found out that you had enough space in the attic to make a whole room that you weren't even aware of. That's pretty awesome. And in the ceilings, so you said in the high point is going to be what?
There's like about 9 feet of space to work with here on the ceiling.
Yeah, that is great. So cool.
Yeah. So this was a discovered room essentially that we decided to build. So I'm still going to have to downsize. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be laid out nicer, and those little doors that go to the attics, that will, again, the overflow. So there will be stuff out there. But I've got so much stuff that, when you've got pretty much one of everything, it doesn't really buy you much to have if I look around this room, to have a Power Mac 7200 sitting next to a 7500, sitting next to a 7600, sitting next to a 7300, right?
Yeah.
I've got so many that just visually are just the same.
Right. So you're going to, that's how my collection is back here, where I tried to do no two body styles the same. Basically one computer to kind of represent that line of body style.
Right.
So I think that's being able to have the computers, kind of show the different styles of different designs is more important than having, like you said, 5 computers that are slightly different model numbers. Especially back in the mid 90s when, every single, this has an extra meg of RAM. Let's give it a different,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it was certainly silly of me to collect all those too. Comments are flowing through here. All kinds of advice on how I could actually solve my problem of storing all these Macs.
Michael, unfortunately in Florida, we don't get basements.
No.
Glass.
It would get very wet.
It would be in-ground pools very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So where does all your regular junk go if the attic is full of Macs? My regular junk. What regular junk? I don't know what the regular junk is. Well, let's show the other wall. Okay. So this is what I'm really excited about. That side I just showed you is very similar to what I've got going on in current Maca, where it's focused heavily on displaying lots of computers. This side, that's the desk. So that's where I'll be doing the podcast. And so as my backdrop, you will have that wall of all the cool Macs that I've pulled out of the collection. This side will have giant bookcases, and they will serve, because they're not large enough necessarily to hold a computer, maybe a laptop, but they are large enough to have small exhibits of various Apple stuff, right?
Which, that's one of the things that I've always loved about your collection is, the Macs are awesome, but you have so much extra, Macintosh marketing material, Mac related objects. It's just so awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'll be fun laying it out. Where there might be one on iPods and one on QuickTake, one on Power CD, one
Newton,
with original operating system boxes, just all kinds of stuff. Even, hey, this guy behind me, the Throwboy stuff, right? So that'll be fun. And of course, as you see above the desk, what do you see?
Yep, you're awesome. Yeah,
that's probably what I'm going to put is that back there, that Apple right there. It's going to go above the desk and be prominent like that. You won't see it in the podcast, but it'll be there in front of me. So there you go. That's the room. That's
nice. Very nice.
All right. Well, again, I think it probably, if I went back and listened to it, a lot of the stuff we said was based on you seeing things. So apologies to everybody listening on the audio, but you can go to the YouTube channel and see what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we were paused. We're going to go into the news segment.
I loved Derek's text adventure get poster. I don't know if you saw that comment or not. Probably
get
not.
Poster. What do you mean?
Like the old, if you were playing an old Infocom game and in this room contains blah 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 blah. Get poster. Right. Examine purple Mac.
Go left.
And and April will be happy to know that there was a very nice Alice in Wonderland reference in here with the drink me and the tiny door. So very good.
All right. Let's see. Now I got to get my stuff together. There's a lot more juggling that has to be done here. Close some extra windows. And we got some news. So now this is when
you just got to send me some links. Or I suppose you don't have to send me the links because I'll be able to see as you
just look at them here.
That's right.
Well, are you okay with that?
Well, it'd be easier in case I need to. So yeah, if you can.
Yeah, well, if you want to navigate separately.
Yeah.
I can put them in here. All right. And go right here and look at that. All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's time for the news. The good folks at Elago, who make all those cool little cases for your, I guess they're doing for iPods and AirPods. I have the one for the regular AirPods that's shaped to look like a classic Mac. And now that I'm using AirPod Pro, of course I can't use that case because it's a wider, squatter form factor. Well, they finally have a AirPods Pro case that evokes the classic Mac complete with the floppy drive door.
Very nice.
And the hello inscribed in the monitor. What do you think of that? It's like a widescreen classic Mac.
Right? Something Dana might have.
Yeah, there you go. Dana, there's a project for you. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a letterbox like widescreen classic Mac? That would have been great. And anyway, I think it's very, very slick the way they do there. Yeah. I mean, I really love it when these companies, how many years later, there's still somebody there in their design team or whatever that's like looking out for us retro fans. Who says, I don't care if 8 people buy this. We're going to sell this thing, right? So there you go. That's that. Here, I guess I can even post the link in the comments so that people can just click on that. Does that work?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's see. What do we got next? You ever go around the Reddit page that devotes itself to old Macs?
I really haven't. I need to check that out.
Yeah. There's some great stuff there people are doing. It's over. Well, I follow the retro battle stations. Show off your old school computer rig, dig out your retro computers and set them up, or dig out your vintage photos from when your computer was new. And Sherlem8. Okay. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Posted this article, my quarantine project is complete. I turned a faulty Macintosh 700 into a gaming PC.
Nice. Very nice.
Look at that. And that's
I actually have, and forgive me for not remembering, is it the 650? Is it this case design, but that sits flat? What model is that? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Help us out in the comment in the chat room.
Anyway, I've got one of those cases that I bought empty for doing just the same thing. I want to make put my PC gaming rig inside of it.
Oh,
so, but this person has done a very nice job.
Yeah,
yeah.
You got to wonder about airflow. I noticed there's a fan on the bottom. Like, is that doing something? I mean, where's the air going from where to where?
Well, it looks like the back is almost completely open.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure what that fan is doing. I don't know. And right now they're showing got the case lid off.
Well, it does have all the vents in the front.
True.
Right? Yeah.
True.
So I think if there was an extra fan going out the back, I think the airflow would be just fine.
Well, I just wonder about that fan on the bottom that's flush on the bottom. I'm not sure what it's doing.
Oh, I see. Right.
Stuck. Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard for it to suck in air from the
Right. Or suck air out or whatever it's trying to do.
Sure.
There's a lot of conflicting thoughts in the chat room. I got a boo from Michael. Lyle says, wow, I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, well, the hope here is that this Quadra 700 had no future life as a Mac.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the one I'm doing it to, I bought as an empty case. So
yeah, there you go.
They're out there on eBay.
Come on, John. You can go out there and you can find a motherboard. You can refurbish this thing. Michael says the correct thing is to take a PC and make it a Hackintosh. Okay.
Well, yeah. See, that's the other cool thing is if I do this, it will certainly have Basilisk 2 running on it as well. So yeah, I could have it boot up to it, so it looks like it's booting up right to the Mac.
No one will be the wiser.
That's right.
Okay, and here again over on Reddit is a classic Macspotting. Remember we had the classic Macspotting
for movies and TV shows, right?
Well, I was talking about just a few weeks back. Remember in the Apple commercial itself?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Apple Watch.
Yes. The actual single frame of video of it.
Yeah. So NetDatC posted old school Macintosh casually peeking out during this professor's interview on PBS NewsHour last night. And it's Omar Wassal from Princeton University. Now, remember we were talking about the Drexel mouse, right? If memory serves, Princeton was also one of those original schools.
Oh, wow.
Anybody out there know? And look what's in the lower right-hand corner there, the screenshot.
Very nice.
A classic Mac, right?
Yeah, it's hard to make out exactly what model because it's kind of washed out.
It's at least not an SE or an SE30. It's at least a Plus or newer.
Or Plus or newer, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it's always fun. People are out there watching to see, looking for them. Right there, it is. So Omar, thanks for for keeping that on your desk. I wonder if it's still working. All right. Well, that's it for news. Okay. Oh my gosh, we have another celebrity on the line.
Oh, haha! We invoked Dana's name, and now
I said it 3 times, and there she is. Awesome.
Nice.
Also known as Nanoraptor. And I wonder if she's got a new creation for us to share. Let's see. Let's see what's going on over on her Twitter. This is we got all kinds of power here. Look at that. This is a great one. If Dana actually had, you didn't have a camera, if you had a mic, you could come on right now. We could join you into this stream, right? And you could talk about this thing that I'm showing right now. Wouldn't that be awesome? Just say in the comments if that's something that could be done. We don't even have to do it part of the podcast. In fact, what I'm thinking is John actually finished the main segments, right?
Yeah.
We're just ready to do the outro. So we're going to do the outro.
We got to figure
After
out
we do the outro, then we'll just
go too.
What's that?
We still have to figure out what you're actually doing for next week.
Do we actually? We don't always figure that out ahead of a time.
That is true. That is true.
Do you have an idea? Oh, that's a good idea.
Coffee's always a good idea. You don't sound like you're drinking coffee. I heard ice.
It's iced coffee.
Oh, hey, I like iced coffee too.
I don't have an idea. We'll figure it out afterwards. We have any maybe there's some.
Maybe it's time to do another old game or something.
All right. Well, we'll think about it.
Okay.
We'll just wrap the show and then we'll just kind of free for all with the chat room.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, that ends the first episode of the new era of RetroMacCast, which combines RetroMacCast Live as a component of this whole thing. I hope that wasn't too painful for folks that are just listening, viewing, and vice versa. Right. We didn't lose members watching, which is a good thing. Although they could be walking around the house, you never knew how many people are actually engaged. Next week.
So first of all, for the people that are just listening to the podcast, if you actually want to see us record, or if you actually want to see video of us from 12 years ago.
Well, those are painful to watch.
Years ago. Oh my gosh. I weighed close to 350 in those. In that first video there.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
John is aging in reverse. Those were some interesting experiments back then. It was way more complicated to put all this together, and it wasn't even live. I mean, it was just crazy.
Sure. Right. You used iMovie, I'm sure, to edit it. Yeah. But I suppose so. Anyway, so yes. So for those listening, this is up on our YouTube. You can always go back and check out an episode with glorious video anytime you want.
We haven't nailed down what we're going to do next week. Sometimes we do that. We don't have anything necessarily lined up. We're going to figure it out later. We talked about spontaneously. Oh, we'll deal with that after the show. See, this is where I start scrambling. What have I said to the live audience, and what have I said to what we're recording on audio?
Right.
All right. So anyway, we haven't figured out what we're gonna do next week. John was talking about perhaps spotlighting a classic old game. So maybe we'll think about that, but we'll figure it out, and then we'll be back next week. So until then, remember, it's not old.
It's retro compute. Oh wait, retro
All right, you messed that up, but I'll let it slide. Okay, Dana says it's midnight here and in bed. However, that one, yes, the first closest thing to an iPod, 1994 alt universe style. So that was the influence. Let's put that back up on the screen here. There you go. Yeah, that is glorious. I love how, the narrow screen just allows you to put a toolbar there and maybe one desk accessory, right? It works well for the calculator because that's all you got is. So I guess you can mouse over there, right? It's an extended desktop, the way that works. I wonder how you would connect that.
ADB? Oh, but for the video, you would probably need
Louise, we got a clarification here. There's somebody has been masquerading as someone else. I knew this was going to happen. I knew people were going to come in here.
Catfishing us already.
Oh we actually thought we had another female listener or viewer, but Louisa is actually Mark. He's using his wife's YouTube account, so that's for clarification there. And Mark has a Flower Power iMac. Has been looking for a Blue Dalmatian for years. There's a funny story.
Dalmatian.
Do you remember the story of the Blue Dalmatian? Speaking of catfishing, do you remember how I got that Blue Dalmatian Mac?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
I don't know if I told that story on the podcast. I must have. So years ago, when I was building up the collection and I was looking for a Blue Dalmatian Mac, someone was selling one on eBay, and somewhere there's a picture of it, but the advertisement picture for the Blue Dalmatian was the person selling it, pictured with the Mac. And it was a young lady who was topless. And so do you remember this?
I have to say I don't.
You should. Yeah, you probably would have remembered it, right? So she was holding the Blue Dalmatian, in front of her, covering her chest. Right?
Okay.
You might have had some. Well, we'll keep this G. Okay. But I mean, it was on eBay. It was pictured. So it was this kind of clever ad that you get her computer, and then you also get a picture printout of that picture. And I thought it was super hilarious, and it was a reasonable deal on the Blue Dalmatian back then. I mean, this is probably 15 years ago. I probably picked it up. Actually, I can't even remember, but. Actually, if you give me a minute, I could probably find the picture. I'll look while I'm telling the story. So I got the computer. I bought it. It arrived. As advertised, it had the picture printed out, like an 8.5 by 11 picture. So somewhere among all this clutter is that picture. No, it's not framed on the wall or anything like that. And so I wrote back. How did I do it? I took a picture of myself in the same pose with that computer and sent it back to her.
That's hilarious.
And that picture shall never be seen. Let's see if I can find it. I could show it now. I don't care. I don't have any hangups.
That's so funny.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm digging into the archive.
Mike wants to know if it was topless. Your picture back.
It was just like hers.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, it was tasteful, very, very artistic.
Yes, and you're getting requests to show the picture.
Well, I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Something. Let's see here. Let's see if it's in here. Well, it might take a little more hunting to find it because that was a long time ago, and like most people, I will show. How about this picture? There's a fun picture. As I'm looking around trying to find that picture, John.
Oh, hang on. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That was. I love the story. But all right, so So this story, all right. So you can see me, you can see Steve Jobs, and there's me just blocking Johnny Ives.
Is that a young you standing there?
That is
standing in the middle of the picture that Steve Jobs is getting ready to shake your hand. Oh no, you're the other guy.
I wish. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's Johnny Ive right back there. That I'm just like blocking him. It's like, no, I get to talk to Steve. No, actually, I never got to shake his hand or anything. You did not take this photo. This was one of the years that I got to go because of you, and I will never be able to thank you enough for that. One of our listeners happened to also be there, not knowing who we were, of course, at all at the time, because I don't think they were even listening to the podcast at the time. Took this photo, and then once they started listening, they're like, I'm pretty sure they sent you this picture going, pretty sure this is John, isn't it? So that's the only reason I have a copy of this is the closest I ever got to Steve Jobs or Johnny Ive. And of course, I didn't even see Johnny Ive behind me. Right. Yeah. Anyway, so I definitely wanted to try to get his autograph, but
he's asking, did he ask for your autograph?
Oh, ha 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 ha. He was a little bashful. He didn't want to, come across as too fanboy-ish toward me, but I could see it. I could see it in his eyes that he really wanted to.
Well, I'm coming up blank on that photo. I'll have to, I'll have to do a deeper search. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. My closest moment was when he nabbed one of my photos of my PowerBook 100 to use in a keynote immediately before the world saw the first iPad. What does that mean? Nabbed one of my photos.
Where
you mean like taken online, not physically in person? Is that right? Holding a photo? I'm not sure. Dana, you have to clarify.
Yeah. One of photos of my PowerBook 100 to use in a keynote.
I saw iPad. Not sure.
Like digitally, or you were there and had a photo, or that's pretty cool.
Gosh, it's killing me to not be able to find this photo.
I like their comment about the dedicated Tetris monitor, referring to the skinny monitor over to the side on Dana's mock-up.
Yeah.
There's some games that people have done that will run in the terrible Retina MacBook Pro bar.
Yeah, on the touch, on the what do they call it, the touch bar.
The touch bar, yeah.
Yeah, it'll run Doom, for example.
Everything. My toaster runs Doom.
There you go. So they actually did credit Dana when they showed the PowerBook 100 photo. So like if we went back and watched the 2010 keynote, we could see that credit, right? So we could go on YouTube and see the 2010 Apple keynote. And so how many seconds into it is it, Dana? Do you know exactly where it is? All right.
I'm shouting, but they don't listen. What?
So here's a question. Do they hear the audio of that video right there? Is that coming through, John?
Let's see if it's coming through on the. I don't see it popping up on the YouTube yet.
No, I'm saying, John, do you hear the audio?
I don't. I do not.
Okay. So somehow I got to figure out how to. I think you can do it. You can stream it. And there's the photo. So, is there an actual credit? I don't see the credit. It's just shown. Or does it come later? Or did it come before? Did I miss it? Oh, here's it again. Isn't that funny? Because Apple didn't have their own picture. Oh, Wikimedia Commons for the credit. No credit on the screen. So there. Okay. All right, that was her picture. But yeah, that's an interesting thing that Apple does not, I think a large part because of Steve Jobs, they don't retain all their old stuff. For a while, there was that the legend about that stuff they had at Stanford. And I'm not sure what became of all that stuff. Yeah. Let me back up here. Anyway, all right. Well, I think we've rattled on long enough. Unless, John, you got anything for me?
No, I did end up bringing up the YouTube channel just so the audio turned down, just so I can make comments. Not that I've really commented too much, because of course.
Oh, well, you can comment right here.
Well, I have to
actually say your comment.
Well, that is true, but it's also if I want to make sure I can make comments if we're not doing anything. Like right now, obviously I can make comments. There's a bit of a delay, obviously, between what we are saying and when it actually showing up on the YouTube live. So I mean, we're talking like a good 4 or 5 second delay.
Derek is saying that Steve donated the museum to Stanford in '97.
Oh,
okay. He got rid of the stuff and found somebody to take it off his hands.
It was a YouTube. It was an eBay auction. He said, "Look me, rare on this eBay auction for it." Yeah.
What became of all that stuff is kind of the question. What is Stanford doing it? Apple's museum that never was. Why does Stanford keep it secret? This is an article back from a few years ago, so you can learn a little bit more about that.
It's in a warehouse somewhere next to the Ark of the Covenant, perhaps.
Possibly. Yeah.
It belongs in a museum.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us in the chat room. Thank you for making it a little more interesting, have a little bit of interactivity.
This has been fun. Yeah, absolutely. This has been fun. And I look forward to, I want to keep trying to do this. I think this would be great.
Does anyone have any
suggestion for any games for next week? Not Tetris, so we will be playing from now until, no, just kidding.
Michael's going to bed. All right, good.
Yeah, thank you for all the overseas people who are up late.
All right. I'm going to end the broadcast, John.
All right.
And well, that's going to cut you and me off because this is how we're communicating. We're using Skype, so you and I are out. So anything
that is true. Yeah, I had totally forgotten that we weren't even doing this via Skype. The audio is so good.
It is. So you need to send me the files.
Yes, I do. All right. We'll do that. Maybe we'll stay on long enough for me to do that and see if anyone has any suggestions for a game.
Yeah, it's funny because it works out well for Marcus pointing out it's only 3 p.m. in London, so it's good timing actually for folks there. It's quite early even for us on this comment. All right, John, I'll talk to you later, and we'll get together. We'll talk about, or we'll think of something. Let me know game wise. We'll pick something out.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.